Welcome back. Illinois farmers are in the middle of harvest season or have already had their harvest, depending on what part of the state they're in. But this year's bounty brings some uncertainty as well, as President Trump's tariff proposals are causing countries like China to retaliate by not buying some American crops. And at the same time, the president has weighed importing more beef from Argentina. And here to weigh in on all of this is Brian Duncan, grain and livestock farmer from downstate Polo, Illinois, and also head of the Illinois Farm Bureau. Brian Duncan, thanks for joining us. So let's start with soybeans, which Illinois, as I understand, is the #1 soybean producer in the nation. How are the soybean farmers doing?
Well, Paris, there is a lot of uncertainty right now. Markets reacted pretty strongly today to the news that maybe there might be a framework for a deal with China. Without that Chinese market, Illinois soybean farmers are going to experience some economic difficulties. They've been our biggest market, and Illinois is the largest soybean producing state, and exports are vital to Illinois agriculture, not just soybeans, but to all of us. And so farmers, I think farmers in general, we appreciate hearing that there may be a framework of a deal, but we've heard about lots of frameworks. We're actually looking forward to some specifics on volumes of purchases of the goods that we produce. And when it comes to soybeans, my understanding is China has already purchased their needs for 2025. And so is there going to be something announced on Thursday about 2026 purchases? We are in a wait and see mode, and maybe hope for the best.
Does that mean if there is a deal, and we know that it's been reported that the president is in Asia and might be meeting with the Chinese president, does that mean that this year's crop they can actually sell to the China market, or are they going to have to do something else this year and hope for a better 26?
Well, that picture you've got right there, you just showed grain bins. I think a lot of farmers have been this year's crop because the prices right now are not profitable. So myself and other farmers are putting this crop away and closing the bin doors and hoping for higher prices. But again, we are very export reliant, especially here in Illinois, Mexico, and China, particularly huge customers for us. And it looks like it's going to be a good soybean crop. And we need a place to go with it. We just simply need a place to go with it. So we can bin it, we can hold it. You know, if China has made purchases from South America, like I understand they have, will they cancel some and replace them with purchases from the United States? There's a lot of information that we're waiting to hear. The details have been pretty thin so far. But we definitely, I mean, the bottom line is Illinois is the largest total exporting state in the Midwest and 4th largest in the country. And any uncertainty when it comes to exports or tariffs on even the goods we buy, the fertilizer we buy, it creates a lot of economic uncertainty and nervousness amongst our farmers.
Yeah, and let me ask you about meat as well, or livestock.
Sure.
When you heard about the potential to buy or import more meat from the Argentina market, how was that news received, and how's livestock doing overall?
My phone started ringing immediately. But again, the details are sketchy. We don't know. I mean, is it tallow? Is it trim? Doubtful. It's muscle cuts. Again, we see these announcements with no details attached to them, and so the market maybe assumes the worst. Farmers assume the worst. And so obviously any significant importing of beef will be concerned to our cattle feeders. You know, the American consumer enjoys a robust meat case with a lot of protein items to choose from, domestically raised. And so any attempt to undermine one of those sections of the meat case can obviously negatively impact them all. And so, again, we await details. That's all I can say. And is it going to be significant? The cattle herd has been reduced due to drought and due to economic factors. Cattle feeders lost a lot of money not too many years back, and that caused them to shrink the herd. And so returning that herd to a robust size is going to take some time.
Very quickly, we have a few seconds left, Brian. I mean, what If there is no certainty down the pike, could we see farms go out of business? Could we see some real hardship?
Yeah, I mean, I think the economic situation in agriculture right now is very dire. American Farm Bureau, Illinois Farm Bureau signed on with a letter with the president pointing out the need for some trade certainty. There are some policies that we would like to see: year-round E15, some nutritious foods bought for schools, for institutions, looking into how our goods that we buy are priced, as well as the tariffs on the inputs of fertilizer. So there are some policy things that we would like to see acted on as well. But the economic pain is real.
All right.
This has been going on a while.
All right, Brian Duncan, thanks for joining us from the Illinois Farm Bureau. And that is our show for this evening. We'll be back tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. Thanks for joining us, everybody.